Hello and welcome to Out and About with Trev for 2019. I know that this isn't actually my first episode for the year, but last week, or the actual first episode, was sort of running off sort of last year's ideas. And I did, however, drop the weekly catch-up part of the title, and I've just dropped it down to Out and About with Trev, like you can see here on my bit of branding. And this thing works really great. I've already done a couple of interviews with it, and the actual thing with this microphone is you don't actually have to be so close up to it. So it's meant to be used with a bit of distance. So I thought, well, as soon as it comes with the mic flag, I might as well use it. So I put these together, and I reckon it looks great. So we'll get into it. This episode's actually going to be, I started out, I was just going to show people the little drone that I bought at the start of the year, just a very cheap one. I was walking past JB Hi-Fi and they actually had a drone going cheap. It was like $50. And at the time I just endured about 2.5 weeks or 2 weeks of having no internet at home, and it had mucked me about like you wouldn't believe. I like it when I can have a nice relaxing day here at home, actually like I'm going to do to put this episode together. And I can go and make a cuppa and things like that. So I enjoy that. So I'd done 2 weeks of, having to travel in, get on the internet. You don't truly appreciate what you've got until you lose it. But it turned out to be a line issue out in the street. I went, I went 19 days without internet. What I actually learned out of it is I'm nothing if not an internet-based operation. Anyway, like I said, I bought this cheap drone, and I already knew that there was quite a few rules and regs for commercial applications, and I'm not looking at using this thing for commercial application at all. It was just something to get. It's a bit of fun. Here's some shots of me taking the thing off the landing pad. I built a couple of landing pads and fly it from up here on the balcony, fly it down into the backyard, land on the other one, try to bring it back. Bit of fun. The interesting question that I'd like to ask in this episode is, basically drones here to stay? And I think it's worth putting a question mark at the end of it, because I think like no other technology that we've actually had released to the general public, I think this might be the one bit of technology that we've had where people might actually look at it and say, you know what, do the costs outweigh the benefits? We've had remote control aircraft and helicopters for a number of years, and they're great and lots of fun. But the current drones, and not necessarily my one, although it does have a little camera in it, it'll do photos and a bit of video, at not real good quality. Here's some onboard stuff from it, so it's a bit shaky and what have you. But you can get professional drones that you can put a cinema quality camera on the end of them, and you can get amazing shots. We see all over the internet, we've got shots like this.
Addy mode.
Let's do another punch test. That was just so crazy, wasn't it? full throttle up right now. Uh-oh. Ooh, so did you see that?
And these things are already starting to end up in weird places that normally you just wouldn't get things ending up. We had a guy who lost one. I found this on the internet where a guy lost one up in a Icelandic waterfall, and now his drone's up there, you know, and I mean, that's basically littering.
Well, I got a quad stuck up there. I was trying to fly around and was having a great flight and tried to perch on the side of the mountain because that would be awesome, right? Like, it's just sitting up there, we arm and then fly away. Well, I perched, disarmed, it started sliding, so I rearmed and then kicked the throttle in to try to get it away from the cliff, and it like hooked and started falling, which is fine. Like, and I kind of expected that it was gonna fall, but then it hit and like just got stuck in some shrubbery along the way down, so I could not get it back. So I'm saying goodbye to a GoPro and a quad. We even took a Phantom up there to look and see if it would have been possible to walk up or hike up, and it's all too dangerous to even consider doing it.
The drone's going to end up, you know, way off the track where people probably can't walk to, and these things are ending up already. They're ending up, you know, in the rivers and streams. They're going to end up on people's roofs. They're going to end up in construction sites. And the other thing that's now happening is with some of the technology that's coming into these, and we saw just before Christmas with the idiots that shut down Gatwick Airport through flying a drone. And these things have got GPS built in them. They've got live streaming back to a tablet or, you know, mobile phone. You can remote pilot these things from quite a distance, and like I say, they're going to end up in some very weird and wacky places, and it brings around a whole range of issues, from privacy and what rights you've got to fly a device and take video. Even just here, like if I fly mine up, here's a bit of a shot I took a couple of weeks ago, and as it rises up, you sort of, I mean, I'm deliberately trying to keep the thing aimed pretty horizontal and really looking at the long shot into the city. But you can already see there's some issues that come out of that. You've also got noise issues and things like that. Now you start flying these things around, and I've already had mine end up over in a neighbour's backyard and, you know, over the fence and up in a tree and things like that. But there's a lot of issues going to come around with these things. So what I thought was, again, the question is, are they here to stay? Because I'm not so sure they will be.
Look up. Sooner than you think, you'll see a drone. Are they a nuisance?
They are fun, but they do have dangerous capabilities to them.
Are they big brother?
This is the eye in the sky. This is the big enchilada of surveillance.
Will they change how we see our world?
For the first time in history, we can see the world from above eye level, and not out of the porthole of a jetliner.
It's going to lead to a lot of complexity, really, a lot of complexity. It could be a very scary world. On the other hand, it may be a utopia, who knows?
Welcome to the age of the drone. Drones. They've earned their reputation as the world's most effective killing machines in war zones around the globe. Now, military technology is coming to the skies near you. By 2020, it is estimated there will be 20,000 drones in the air in North America.
They're robots, and robots are fascinating, but also we tend to associate them with the theater of war. We tend to think of them as military equipment come home.
Millions of dollars of military research and development have created drones that are being adapted to new uses. Drones come in a vast array of shapes and sizes, from those that resemble full-size aircraft to this. Trade shows that used to focus on the military industry have shifted to a new and growing worldwide market. AUVSI is the robotics industry's expo, showcasing everything from floor-crawling cameras to stair climbers to video game controllers, and even real-life avatars. But this year, all the buzz is about drones and the switch from military to civilian applications.
Now that we see the wars in Afghanistan winding down, In Situ is focused on the international and commercial market in support of gas and oil companies.
We predict that this industry within the first 3 years of integration has the potential to create 70,000 new jobs in America. So this is a big industry that's only going to get bigger.
Drones are looking to be the next big thing, and everybody wants a piece of the action.
We in Ohio believe that we have a strong, I would say, basis to bring that industry to our state.
University of North Dakota has a unmanned aviation pilot training program.
There's enough business there that companies are succeeding. There are a lot of people being employed. There's a lot of work being done. There's a lot of revenue being earned.
Huge potential. Every research group that does a study says this is a multi-billion-dollar industry.
62% of our planet is in the midst of a catastrophic drought. Countless people have either died or been displaced because of it. Our technology is giving these people a chance.
My partner was murdered. I'm looking for answers.
Drones. Those things are evil. Ain't no good come to anyone who got a drone.
These new Sentinel drones are developed with the Department of Defense to monitor forward operating bases in hostile environments. Reconnaissance and submission.
Submission? Dawn was onto them.
And now Vascro is trying to destroy anybody that's onto the story.
We can make things right.
You know the plan. Both of you, go now!
We need to get out of here.
Our world just got a whole lot brighter.
Okay. Landing gears off. Okay, and let's go. Haha! I'm so exciting. Yeah, I'm too. It has to work. Yeah. Did we take a little bit of speed? Yeah. Bombs away! Bombs away! Oh, the first shot! Oh, that's smoke! It works! But there is flying still! Okay, there is the last bomb, but it's dropping down. Are we ready? Okay, and it drops. 3, 2, 1, and fire!
I'm not saying these things are evil or anything like that. Again, it's like all other technology and mechanics and that. It's about how they're used. And for a long time, if you had a facility like a government facility or a prison or something, you just put a high wall up and that stopped the cameras. Or you've even got just in your own homes, you can put a bit of a fence up and you don't have people putting cameras over the edge. And whereas with the drones, well, they can just hover right above your house and bang, you know, they can look in your windows. Already we've had issues with that sort of thing. And privacy is a major problem for a lot of people. There's many people that love these things. You can equally find others that just got no time for them. So having sort of covered a little bit of the good and the bad, what are the rules in regard to flying drones? Well, here in Australia, they're pretty simple.
Rules apply when you fly. Fly responsibly.
So CASA are actually the people who govern the use of the air. So, for instance, if you're on a high-rise building in the middle of the city, and you ask the property manager of that building, can you fly a drone above it? And they might go, yeah. But actually they don't have ownership of the air above you. So CASA are the ones that govern what uses we can have for the air above us. Whoops. But you certainly can't fly them at the beach because there'd be people everywhere, and you see that all the time. There was a guy posted a video of the New Year's Eve fireworks, and he had the drone right up in with the fireworks, obviously taken at night, at midnight when the fireworks are on, and you can't do that. Now you might think, well, drones have got lights, you can fly them with a GPS. Just because you can do something doesn't mean you should. It's a real issue when, if you're trying to sleep and you've got a drone buzzing by, and that's all fine, and you think, well, okay, that's cool. One or two drones is one thing.
Popularity of drones is gaining momentum across Queensland. Enthusiasts are meeting at beaches and car parks to fly their machines at night and see the world from up high.
Long after the shops at the Oxley Home Superstore have shut their doors for the day, a new breed of thrill seekers get down to business.
It's amazingly good fun and really just limited to your imagination what you can do.
Drone racing or quadcopter challenges use FPV, first-person view goggles, allowing the pilot to kick back and enjoy the ride.
It's like being a little superhero. You can move around in 3D space and there's basically no limits on what you can do.
It's been likened to pod races in Star Wars. And while these self-confessed tech geeks might look a bit silly sitting in an empty car park with goggles on at night, they say they'll have the last laugh.
I can see probably in the next 12 months a worldwide league.
FPV racing obviously looks like a terrific amount of fun, and we're not out here to stop people having fun, but we do want them to fly safely. So very importantly, don't fly your races anywhere near people.
Your standard recreational drone can reach speeds of up to 50 kilometres an hour, but these are the Formula One of drones. Top speed of 150 kilometres an hour.
I'm trying to see if I can get one that'll do 200 kilometres an hour. The technology
technology is growing so rapidly that it'll be there before we know it.
The sky's not the limit, rather the car park roof. A sport with little room for error. David Eccleston, 7 News.
Drone technology is advancing fast, with some companies using them to deliver food and coffee to your door. But one trial has rubbed these neighbours the wrong way, saying the noise of the machines is driving them crazy.
I ran out here waiting for it. When it actually comes over the house and delivers, it's still something to run out and watch.
You're watching a real-life drone delivery trial taking place right here in Australia.
Baker's Delight's most popular item with the wing delivery system has been our cheese and bacon rolls and cheesy mites.
Real companies delivering real products to real people, according to these slick promotional videos on the drone company's website.
I had my grandchildren here. It turned out to be quite a hot day. Looked at my sunscreen, it was out of date. Ordered sunscreen for them, 7 minutes and it was here.
But one neighbour's convenience can be another's bone of contention.
I think it's a farce. It's not really a trial.
Yes, Neville is going nuclear on this drone delivery trial in his neck of the woods. Nev's nightmare? Noise. You see, what's not included in the promo videos is the actual sound these drones make when they arrive with a delivery. Take a listen.
They sound like an F1 racing car. NASA actually did a comparison with a whole lot of noises from cars, trucks, other sources and drone noise came out as the #1 horrible worst noise. And that's what we have to put up with every time the drones go over our heads.
But how can this be? These promo vids feature beaming Aussie faces purring with delight at a flying cheese and bacon loaf from Baker's Delight, sunscreen from Chemist Warehouse, or munchies from the local Mexican joint being delivered in a matter of minutes.
His Mexican meal, gluten-free, fully delivered, that's the convenience.
You asked me how it makes me feel. Yeah, angry is a word. It's, very, very distressing. It is very distressing to me and the family and everybody else who gets to experience it.
Robin says these damned drones aren't just upsetting people in the leafy Canberra suburb of Benithan, where the trial began 6 months ago.
The neighbourhood before was really very peaceful. We've got a pond not too far from here, a lot of wildlife, lots of birds, and they've all left since the trial has started.
Mind you, this feisty feathered friend didn't fly the coop without having a crack at the propeller pest first. The drone delivery trial is being run by a Google spin-off company called Wing. And these aren't your typical drones. They measure more than 1 metre long and have 14 propellers. So far, they've buzzed their way to more than 2,500 homes in the nation's capital.
It's a long list of things.
Residents against the trial are not only concerned about privacy, but also safety, given our civil aviation laws have heavy restrictions on where most drones can fly.
They've all been waived for Project Wing and for this trial, otherwise deliveries couldn't go ahead. And our point is, if the safety requirements are good enough for everybody else who wants to fly a drone, why should this project, why should these deliveries have different safety rules to everybody else?
Melbourne residents could be among the first people in the world to take a ride in the sky aboard Uber's new aerial drone taxis. Our city has been named among 5 global finalists for the first test flights, which are scheduled for 2020.
It's an idea still up in the air.
An eVTOL, an electric vertical takeoff and landing aircraft.
But if technology giant Uber succeeds, Melbourne could be among the first cities in the world to trial drone taxis, announced as one of 5 shortlisted for test flights in 2020.
We'll be having deeper discussions with different cities, and Melbourne's one of them.
Showcasing the latest prototype at an expo in Tokyo, Uber confirmed it's finalising an electric demonstrator drone, which it hopes will be able to transport 4 passengers up to 100 kilometres for the same price as an UberX.
You will literally open up the Uber app, just like you do to get a ground ride,
and you'll see a new choice, and that will be Uber Air.
If you work in the CBD, you could live in one of the cheaper suburbs and still get to work in just 15 minutes.
But there's still work to do, with technicians fine-tuning the batteries to charge more quickly. They're also developing military-grade software to safeguard against hackers and crashes. While the initial test flights will most likely use existing helipads, Uber's vision involves building skyports all over the city, creating a new mass transit system in the sky.
Lots of safety issues to look at, but all of them can be worked through.
To those who remain a little bit sceptical,
The guys on Star Trek pulled out a communicator and they talked on it, and everyone was like, that'll never happen.
the trial city will be revealed by the end of the year.
Can't be afraid to dream.
Christy Mayer, 7 News.
All right, so on that note, I think that's a wrap for this episode. I think I've rolled enough into it. I just wanted to show a couple of different angles to it. It's going to be a very big issue for us, I think. The air's going to get a lot busier. We're going to have a lot going on above us, and we just don't need things going wrong. Unfortunately, I think sooner or later, one of these things or two or whatever is going to fall out of the sky. And who knows what's going to happen. And I just hope that, we can be smarter before that happens and put some decent rules and have people follow the rules. A lot of people bitch about rules and standards. Well, there's a good side to them as well. And when it comes to sharing the air above us and they're flying over cities and towns and what have you, we need to make sure that they're smart about it, because, we don't need big business just getting their way because, damn it, they can make shitloads of money out of it. If it's not going to fit in with the community and it's going to, be something that's really going to annoy them, then we might have to think about it. And just because we can do something doesn't mean we should. And I just think maybe, I think in the, down the line, I'm sure, we're going to have lots of things flying in the air. But I just think maybe right now, because we still haven't got, we haven't got some of the technology quite sorted out, and it's going to be interesting to see what happens. Anyway, like I said, that's about it for this episode. I think that's quite enough to consider for this week. I do thank everyone that comes past and has a look at what I'm putting together. I really do appreciate it. In the next episode, I'm not exactly sure when it's going to be up, in the next week or so. A bit of a funny little episode. I did some testing recently with my microphones. It was a bit windy. Got to see exactly what works and basically just test my new Rode Reporter mic that I only got just before Christmas, and great to give that a run. I'm amazed at how well this works in the wind, to be honest. It's gone all calm now. It was windy half an hour ago, but it works. I'm quite impressed with it. I've done I've done a couple of interviews already with it. The first interview I did straight off the bat, first interview for the year, and I will feature that in the next episode. That's with Ben Whiting, who's a local musician. I've featured a lot of Ben's work on the channel over the last couple of years. Absolutely great musician, and just nice, chilled out, relaxed guy. We had a quick bit of a chat about what he'd been up to over Christmas, New Year, and what he had planned for 2019. So that's coming up. I've also been to a couple of big rallies. We've had some protests about
the student strike on March 15th.
About the Adani mine and the fact we need more coal mines. We've also unfortunately had the fallout from a fairly nasty little rally that was down at St Kilda, where we had a group of far right fascists basically roll up. There was some Nazi salutes and things like that, which I don't think we need that sort of thing in today's society. The Nazi Party probably didn't do anything apart from one country for a blink of an eye, and I don't think they got any place in today's world. So I think we can step back from that. I think we need to be a bit smarter with it. I think in all of this, I'm not anti-corporate by any means. I'm a businessman in my heart. But we just need to be fairer with it, like everyone. I think businesses should make money, corporations should make money, but when they tweak some of the rules and they're getting away with some of the things and they're making just absolute shitloads, it sort of rubs the wrong way against people that are really struggling. So I've also got to put them together in some sort of package, so that'll be coming up the next couple of weeks. We've got some more things coming up. So the next few months will be quite a lot going on, and I intend to be out and about and doing interviews and featuring it, and I hope you tune in for that. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Might be time for a cuppa, I think. Cheers, guys.